in my investigations, I've come up against several times like this wall of, do I go through and really investigate what's happening here, or do I pursue and keep the mystery? And I've come across that a lot. Some of the different pieces of driftwood, very strange pieces of wood to where you couldn't even imagine how it could have looked in a tree at one time. And there's some of the patterns, like there's fungal mycelia growth on this tapestry that I painted. It's probably the most time-consuming thing I've ever done. These tiny, intricate patterns just spread all over this. And that was one of the things that really got me going into this. So I was very interested in what caused it. I did some initial investigation. I couldn't really figure it out. And that to me was like, that kind of was like, okay. Some instances, to say, I don't know, it was worms, it was termites, like, it lends more power to the work, because then it becomes something that's more mysterious. It becomes an object, more than just an analysis of a certain species. The majority of the work has either directly come from or is very much influenced by the family land in Gulf Hammock, Florida, which is on the Nature Coast, very rural. My grandfather built a cabin all by himself, cut down the trees, picked them out, cypress trees from the swamp. So there's a log cabin there, and he also built a huge barn, larger than this whole building, in which he built a 53-foot long, 3-story tall boat out of concrete by himself. And so growing up with that experience, I think really shaped the way I saw things, just having the freedom to be out in nature, out in creation, just exploring things, and then also seeing someone just, I want to make this, and then doing it, and just putting their passion into it. Subtitle of the show, so it's Intimate Immensities, Curiosity Cabinets of the Floating Woods. The Floating Woods is the title of the land where the cabin is and the boat was built. And so the Curiosity Cabinets, most typically you would probably have seen those as like butterflies pinned inside a box. 1900s to like early 20th century, before there was so much photography, so much access to things, wealthy people and naturalists would collect these things from around the world. And so I've always been really interested in that way of arranging things, of finding disparate things around the world, around our environment, and drawing connections and bringing them together and applying sometimes literal connections, like as in the skulls, where actually our skulls are like puzzles and they fit together in intricate ways. And so I just took them apart, and I arranged some of the driftwood displays to kind of resemble like how they kind of fit together. And so not everyone's going to go hundreds of yards trudging through the swamp to dig inside a decayed root ball of a fallen tree to find little specimens. I see so much wonder in the world around me, finding ways of then being able to communicate that and to show that as art, so that other people can also see things, you know, to see through the lens that I see things. My desire is that if people can see in like an intimate, like close way, the way that I view the world around me, maybe I can encourage them to refine their own lenses to see the forgotten, just the intricacies of the world around us. And then in turn, they can show me what they see. You know, because everyone sees with different eyes. And so in some ways, this is a pretty literal series, because it's like, this is the lens how I see the world. And I want you to be able to get a glimpse of that.